Hello, I'm here today with Sue Coleman from North Wales. And Sue has been involved in teaching English to refugees and asylum seekers for a little while now. Sue, can I just ask you, how long have you been involved in teaching English to refugees and asylum seekers?
Good question, William. I think probably around about between 2 and 3 years, I would think now.
Okay. And
Yeah,
why did you choose to get involved in this area?
it's another interesting question. I think it's because I've lived abroad and I know what it feels like to live in a different culture. And the thing that made the difference to being there was the welcome we had from the church there. They made us feel part of the family, helped us integrate into the culture. And I kind of feel, because I've been through that myself, I know a similar kind of feeling that the refugees may have, although obviously not to that extent, but a little bit.
Mm. So
Yeah.
how did you meet the refugees initially when they came to North Wales?
Yeah, the initial contact was via the Red Cross. The Red Cross asked if they could use the church building as a drop-in centre for the refugees coming in from Syria.
Okay,
And that's really how we had the first contact.
okay. And what were their immediate needs when you first met them?
Well, the Red Cross would meet their immediate needs in terms of finding placements for them in schools and the other accessing other services they would need in this country. And we would mainly go along to just be there with them, providing teas, coffees, and sitting with them and chatting. That's how it really started, the connection. They just really wanted somebody to chat with them and make them feel welcome.
And what was their level of English like?
It varied. Some of them were much better than others. Some had hardly any English. So yeah, it was quite interesting to sort of find the best approach. One of the things I would say is, because they came from a Muslim background, we found when the men and women were together, the men would do all the talking and the ladies would sit there just quietly nodding and being quiet.
Mm.
So we had to find a way around that, and we did.
And how did you find a way around that? What was your approach?
Well, after lockdown, the Red Cross actually had to finish meeting face to face with them.
Yeah.
And we carried on. They wanted to carry on meeting, so we arranged to meet over Zoom. And we found that it was much better to have the ladies in a separate group. And we've had a great sort of relationship with them ever since. Now we're meeting face to face again. We have the men and women in separate groups, and we found that works really well.
Okay. And when you say you're meeting, is everything done in English, or are you using apps or translators, or do any of your team have skills in what I presume is Arabic?
Yeah, that is another interesting one. We're now meeting face to face. We have a premises in the centre of Colwyn Bay, and the Syrian families come there. And myself and another lady sit with the ladies, the Syrian ladies, and chat with them. And the men sit and chat. And the man who's with them from the church is actually learning Arabic. So there's a great connection there now. They help him with his Arabic, and he helps them with their English. So it's a really good arrangement.
And do you find that that two-way approach, where there's sharing of language going on, is that specifically helpful?
I would say yes, it is. We have learned a few basic Arabic phrases from the ladies. Obviously, not as much as the men, because they are helping the man from the church with his Arabic. But we do pick up a little bit, and we can greet them in Arabic. And of course, a lot of their faith has got specific words in to do with the Muslim faith, and we learn those words as well. So it becomes, we're learning things that are meaningful to them.
Mm. Sue, that's ever so interesting and really helpful. It sounds like it's fantastic the way that you're reaching out into the community in North Wales. It's great to hear, and thank you so much for sharing some of your experiences with us today.
It's a pleasure.